Hi teacher, this is our APE guide number 3, and we are going to talk about the Speaking FCE exam. Well, my name is Michelle Ruiz, and in this APE guide that is about the speaking exam, we were going to make a feedback about the reading test that lasts 1 hour and 15 minutes with 7 parts and 52 questions, and also the listening test that lasts 40 minutes with 4 parts and 30 questions. Now, about the speaking exam, has 4 parts in total, and some parts will be done in pairs. Also, there will be 2 examiners. Then you must interact with the interlocutor and with your partner. And it's important to know that all the exams will last 14 minutes per pair of candidates. Okay, in the first part, I will talk about that this is an individual background questions. So there will be fixed questions. This means that these questions are never changed, like your name or where you're from. And also there are a variety of questions like why you're learning English, your likes and dislikes, and some others. Also, we have some tips like get relaxed, don't stress. You can say your examiner to repeat it, like could you repeat that? And use the grammar of the question in your answer. For example, if your examiner asks you, do you enjoy cooking? You can say, yes, I enjoy to cook. And also, don't be a robot. You don't write your answers to questions and memorize them.
Hello teacher, this is David Baron. I'm going to talk about Fce Speaking Part 2. This exam is also called like a long term because students have to speak a lot. The mechanic of this exam is students get 2 color photos to talk per 1 minute. When student A finish, the examiner works as the other student B 30 seconds tag. Is needed to repeat the process with student B. Important details. The pictures are not the same in each exam. And another important detail is that the examiner will ask to you about compared photos and say something about them. The common mistakes is that the most FCE students describe photos, but not. In this case, we need to be clear about the difference between comparison and description. And we must to do a comparison. And also, if you forget a word or make a mistakes, continue speaking. Speak aloud. The purpose of this exam is speak. How can I practice? It's very easy. You can search in Google 2 photos on a similar theme and do a comparison between each one. You can use this type of question. For example, what is good and bad about? What people are looking and why they have chosen this place, for example.
Fce Speaking Part 3. This part of the test comprises one discussion divided into 2 parts. First, the examiner will describe a situation to you and your partner, and he or she will offer you different options to discuss. Second, after the brief discussion, you and your partner will have to decide on the best option for the situation proposed in the first part of the discussion. Timing of the V2 first speaking part 3. This part of the test is supposed to last 4 minutes or 5 minutes if the speaking task is carried out by 3 candidates. The main elements of the task are the following. Examiner instruction total 1 minute, per discussion of the option 2 minutes or 3 minutes if the group is about 3 persons, reach a conclusion 1 minute. Instructions and possible candidates' responses. When sitting and speaking exam, it is important to know what to expect in terms of timing, task, instruction, content, and so on. For this reason, it is absolutely essential to know the instruction you will receive during the V2 FCE speaking test. Basic observation for V2 First FCE Speaking Part 3. If you read the task above carefully, you will notice the following features in FCE Speaking Part 3. The candidates are asked to interact with each other rather than speaking by themselves. It is essential to express and ask for opinions, agree and disagree with other candidates, and change the subject.
Hello everyone, I am Maria Sabando. I want to talk about Fce Speaking Test Part 4. Well, indeed, it is about a mix between allowship and interaction. In this last part of the exam, the test, the examiner will ask questions and the student will have to answer in the extended way. It is also typical for an examiner to make a statement and ask the student to express his or her opinion about it, saying whether he or she agrees or not. And this part of the speaking begins with the theme raised in part 3 of the speaking. That is if part 3 was holiday or vacations. Part 4 begins with questions related to the same and what is the most evaluated in how the student express and justifies their opinion. For a better idea, here we have a series of questions that make up part 4 of the exam. Normally, the examiner will choose a few, not at all, and otherwise the exam will be too long. Well, here we have some essential tips to do in this part. Well, in the question or the answers will be individual or to discuss with a partner. Produce extended answers. In this case, don't be afraid to talk. All right, you need to expand your answer. And also be prepared to use complex language, and students will need to use some connectors, for example, like, however, on the other hand. Well, that's all. Thank you.